strong, independent woman. I could do anything and I don't need you.
A few moments later.
What do you want?
Can you help me open this?
What do you say?
Thank you.
Welcome, brothers. In today's video, we'll explore how modern women are changing their narratives to embrace a soft girl persona. It seems that being strong and independent isn't working nowadays. But before we dive in, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments. This greatly helps us reach more men who might benefit from this content. Without further ado, let's get started.
Meet some women and they're just irresistible. Anywhere they go, men just flock to them. They might not even be that attractive, but they just seem to have that magnetism. Well, I'm going to give you 4 secrets that will make you irresistible if that's your goal. And these are things that you probably don't think are important, but I'm going to tell you right now, I coach a ton of men and these 4 things literally drive men crazy. Okay, the first tip is stop being so fucking nice. And I mean that from a place of love. Now, I'm not saying be rude, okay? I'm definitely not saying be rude, but be sassy, okay? Keep him on his toes. Don't let him get too comfortable too soon, especially if you feel like he's out of your league. This is a way to separate yourself from the pack because sassy girls don't get ignored. Tip number 2 is stop initiating. That goes for texts, that goes for dates, that goes for plans. Men have to feel like they are earning you. So if everything is given on a silver platter, then there's no chase to be had, especially because women now are just throwing themselves at men. So if you don't do that, then you're gonna stand out. Tip number 3, have irresistible body language. And the reason a lot of girls don't have good body language is because they don't find themselves irresistible. And tip number 4, you're probably not gonna expect this, but if done the right way, this alone can make you pretty irresistible. And I'm talking about being girly, being feminine. I'm not even talking about your style. You can be grunge, you can be edgy, but make it girly. And more than that, it's about embracing yourself as the girl and not always trying to be Miss Serious, because honestly, it's boring. Follow for more dating tips though, and good luck.
I don't understand how these tips help women when what most men are looking for is a genuine, kind woman who doesn't play too many games, someone who commands respect but, above all, respects the man. However, nowadays it's promoted to women, and sometimes to men, that being as disinterested as possible is the most attractive. When a woman is always elusive with you, when a woman constantly sets high standards, like demanding gifts or expensive dates, or asking for favors, brothers, she doesn't have genuine interest in you. She just sees you as an ATM. If her intention is to see you, why would a simple coffee date where we can have a conversation bother her? Furthermore, a woman who stops being charming tends to become burdensome, and a burdensome woman is someone no man wants by his side. This is why men are leaving the country. Just watch the following video as an example of what I'm saying.
And another thing for you bitches, right? I talked about my soft girl era. I am backing up so you can see how good I look when I fucking read you, because I grew up hard, okay? I was unable to be a soft girl. So thank you for all of the women who have already been soft women, but I had to learn that behavior. I had to unlearn toxic behaviors to be able to be soft. And it wasn't because of no man, it was because of me and growth and motherhood and womanhood. So yes, I talked about a significant instance where I was able to display my softness with my man, but it doesn't come because of my man. It came from my growth, you dumbass hoes.
So that you understand, the concept of a soft girl is a girl who is considered kind, affectionate, gentle, and friendly, in short, a feminine girl, something traditional. However, as you know, the modern woman always has to give it some ridiculous name to make some kind of movement. But as you can see with this woman, many are like this, tough women, women with an aggressive character who sometimes make you feel like you're talking to another man, as if they've had a tough life. They aren't affectionate, don't take care of their man, lack respect for their man, and demand from you like a man. When you see this type of girl, that's why you want to leave her, because it feels like you got involved with someone of your own gender. That's why this movement is emerging where girls want to connect with their feminine energy. Even though she says it's for herself, it's for us, brothers, because many are noticing that men are leaving the country or don't want anything to do with them. They see that they are no longer pursued and that now they have to go after a man of value, especially when you're a tough girl. When you see a man you like with a sweet, beautiful, and feminine girl, it's opening your eyes, brother, because she's realizing that the wall doesn't forgive.
Men are the new velociraptors.
I said what I said. Woman meets a guy on an app. They have a great conversation, they talk about kids, politics. They even open up about their personal healing journeys. Date 1 is dinner, it goes great. Date 2, she invites him over to watch a movie. They hook up, but they don't have sex. A few days after the holidays, he sends her a text. And he says that he's physically attracted to her, but he doesn't think there's an emotional connection. So you know that scene in Jurassic Park where the Velociraptor is trying to get into the kitchen? And he finally learns how to open the doors with his teeny tiny little arms? Men are the new Velociraptors. They're learning how to open the door with their teeny tiny little arms, or penises. They think that if they put in enough sensitive nice guy, they'll get laid faster. This guy was likely mirroring you to build a false sense of intimacy. When he didn't sleep with him on the second date, he decided that he'd already made all the effort he planned on making, so he bailed. And keep in mind, there's no such thing as hooking up with somebody too soon when you're with someone that actually likes and respects you. Read the full letter and my full response, and listen to the podcast episode where we talk about this letter. Links in the bio.
It's like saying women are like a T-Rex, hunting for that prey to fit it in and then strip it of everything. Do you know why many women have issues with men on dates? It's because they aim for the Chad. We all know that women only match with 20% of men. This tells us that the same man is going out with the same women over and over again. This is causing so many problems for women that they've created Facebook groups called We're Dating the Same Guy, where they constantly post photos of some Chad who's having fun on these apps with women over and over again. Because we all know that Chad never rests, a man who brings nothing to the table but his seed, spreading it without a day off. It's not this man's fault, but still, women blame men for their poor choices. That's why they now complain that men on dates are only looking for one thing. As I said once, he who makes the law makes the loophole.
If you find yourself constantly attracting toxic partners, men never treat you right, you're not getting princess treatment, and you just don't understand why all of these other women are finding the perfect men that are giving them healthy relationships, and you haven't experienced that, it doesn't mean all men are toxic, and it doesn't mean chivalry is dead. It means you have some work to do. And I say this because I experienced the same thing, and it took me 3 months of working on myself to finally upgrade my dating life and get the treatment that I saw everybody else online getting. So here are the steps you need to take to finally get the treatment you deserve. 1, take a free online test to learn what your attachment style is and work backwards from it. Because chances are you probably don't have a secure attachment style. I didn't either. I didn't even realize I had an avoidant attachment style, and it was literally my fault that I kept finding myself in situations with emotionally unavailable men, emotionally immature men, toxic men, narcissists, etc. Because I feared intimacy and getting too close to somebody, so I was never picking the right guy, or I was bored by nice guys. 2, learn the actual definition of what it means to be loved and what it means to love someone fully and unconditionally. This one book changed my life and taught me everything I needed to know about love and relationships. It's called All About Love by Bell Hooks. My favorite part of the book is the beginning where she talks about the 7 components of real love. And as soon as I read that, I swear it reprogrammed something in my brain. Because it made me realize all of the instances where I thought I was in love weren't love. 3, you might be living in your masculine energy instead of your divine feminine. I never understood what these terms meant, but I finally took the time to learn and it changed my life. I always thought I was super feminine and a girly girl, which I am, but that's got nothing to do with feminine energy. I had been living in my masculine energy for so long because I was in survival mode. I was the provider, I was looking after men, I was making the plans, I was the dominant one, making all the decisions. And that felt comfortable because it gave me the power in the relationship and it felt like a safe space. But that meant I was accepting partnerships from men where they wouldn't do anything for me. They didn't feel the need to step up and provide for me because I was doing all of the work. Mastering feminine energy and living that lifestyle is what attracts high value men, men with provider mentalities who want to give you princess treatment and a soft life, to want to be with you. And the final step is something I talk about on my TikTok all the time for a reason, which is mastering self-love and solo dating. I took a year out of my life and several periods after that in between dating to focus on myself, be completely alone, no talking stages, no dating, complete celibacy. Because once you get comfortable with yourself, you'll never find yourself chasing a man, trying to impress him, or lowering your standards. Your standards need to be so high, and not only that, but non-negotiables. When you love your own company, the second a man does so much as slip up, you're out of there. You don't care because you already have so much fun on your own. So a man is only an addition to your life. And he better be bringing a lot to the table if he's just an addition. Otherwise, you already have everything you need in your life with yourself.
Here we have another dating coach. Something that amuses me is when she says, I had to take 3 months to work on myself, and then she blames men for being immature. What part of working on yourself becomes the fault of men? Another thing I want you to notice is when she says, nice guys bored me. So when you see these statements, who is to blame for romantic failures, the man or the woman? Because if a healthy man came to treat you like a princess and you got bored, but when the Chad came, you became dominant and a provider, how the hell is it the man's fault then? Because, as I say, these women can not only find good men, they ruin good men. When a guy with the best intentions comes along, they mistreat him, deceive him, leave him on read. And it ends up making the guy not want to engage in relationships because of all the trauma experienced with an immature woman. But then, when the Chad comes along, they give themselves body and soul to him, ending up hurting themselves even more. It's a never-ending cycle. Later on, you see them wanting to change when they approach 30 because they're hitting the wall. We all know the wall doesn't forgive.
Do not fantasize about him. Don't think about who he could be in your life or what kind of future you could have with him. It doesn't matter how much you like him or how much you find yourself gravitating towards him. It's only natural for you to feel excited and hopeful that he's the one you've been waiting for. But you need to remember, you don't know him, honey. You don't know the core of who he is, what kind of values he has, what kind of life he's lived before you. You don't know what he does when no one's watching. After a good number of dates, you may think you know him well enough to trust him and open your heart. But it is way too early to uncover aspects about him that might be a deal breaker for you. Save yourself a heartbreak. Don't give your heart away too easily, especially in the case where you think he's love bombing you. Don't fall for it because talk is cheap but actions are priceless. Also, I think when you make it too easy for a man to win you over by a couple pretty things he says and does, he is prone to becoming bored. Men are competitive by nature and they like the challenge. Just think about how hard we need to work and grind to gain assets in our life. This isn't me telling you to play hard to get or act uninterested. What I am suggesting that you do is you stay where you are and you let the man come to you. Never chase him because you're enamored by this idea of him. That is giving your power away as a woman.
In short, she treats the man who likes her with little interest, claiming that he falls for her more this way. What nonsense this is. Because of this stupid game, men end up getting married. One day, she won't talk to you, and the next day, she wants to talk to you all day. Another day, she wants you to invite her out, but not for coffee. It has to be an expensive place where she can take photos. After all her games, you see that she gets bored of you and goes with the Chad who did nothing more than invite her to his house to watch Netflix, while you're taking her all around the city. Brothers, I've always said interest is non-negotiable. If a woman doesn't make it clear that she likes you, believe me, she doesn't. I won't deny being chivalrous or paying for the first date, but if from the start, you have to spend a fortune just to get someone to go out with you, then she's not interested in you. She's interested in the place you're taking her to, so she can take photos for her Instagram, for her pack of simps, to keep feeding her ego. Taking pictures where I guarantee everything will show up except you. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about soft girls? Do you believe that the modern woman is fit to be a wife nowadays? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.